Good morning, dear students. Today's topic is material handling and purchases. This is in the fourth unit of your syllabus. Let us go through it. First of all, before going to material handling, we have to know what is materials. Materials are nothing but we have various types of materials like raw material, work in process material, finished goods, some other materials which are used in for businesses. So these materials has to be handled at very carefully in order to reduce the wastage, in order to reduce the cost, in order to work efficiently. We have to take care while handling the materials. Okay, let us see what is materials handling. Material handling is the art and science of moving, or that is we have to moving of materials, packing of materials, storing of substances in any form. We call it as material handling. That is, it is an art and science of moving of materials, packing of materials, storing of materials of substances in any form. If the material is in a glass form, it is in the hazardous form like chemicals, or it is in the form of liquid form, or it is in the form of mercury form, or it is a solid, liquid, or in any form. It is some materials are hazardous to health. Some materials has to be take care where handling like glass materials. Such types of materials has to be handled with a different care. Okay, material management is an approach of planning, organizing, and controlling of all the house activities, principally concerned with the flow of materials into an organization. It deals with how to plan for the materials, how to organize the materials in the organization. That is, it has to plan for how many number of materials are required, what type of materials has to be purchased, how to organize these materials, how to control these materials, how to reduce these wastages, right? These are all comes under material handling. That is, material handling is nothing but it is the activity which is related to handling and moving, packing, storing of all the types of materials in the business, in whichever form it may be. It may be in the gaseous form like nitrogen gases, some liquid nitrogen gas, liquid nitrogen gases, right? It is from chemicals, glass, solids, heavy materials, soft materials. These all has to be take care. This all has to be handled. Okay, why? What is the importance of this material handling? Coming to the importance of material handling, it is the function of production control. See, in production we have to control the material. If you not control the material, there is there is a huge wastage. There is a huge loss of material. So it is the one of the function of production to control the materials. Okay, it is concerned with the scheduling of production control. It is concerned with the scheduling of production control. We have production schedules like how many number of products has to be produced, what type of products has to be produced, when they has to produce, which is the batch size, lot size, right? What type of material has to be used. These are all has to be taken care. This has to be considered. So it is important scheduling the production control, and the material handling adds value to production cost. See, if you can handle the materials in a good way, so that wastage is reduced, so that the cost of production is also reduced. Then coming to material handling increases effectiveness in a plant by reducing the cost. It says that by reducing the material wastage, we can reduce the cost. I mean to say that by increasing the efficiency of material handling, we can reduce the cost of materials. Okay, then coming to what are the objectives of material handling. Coming to objectives of material handling, it lowers unit material handling. That is, if there are some products which can be handled in bulk number, for example, some items like soaps, shampoos, or some other things like mobile phones. These are not supposed to handle with unit. These are not supposed to handle in unit wise. They can be handled in a bulk wise. So it lowers unit material handling cost. If we handle such type of materials per unit, that is, if we handle 1 unit, if we move 1 unit and again 1 unit and again 1 unit and again 1 unit, so what happened? The cost will be increased. So material handling is to reduce the cost of handling per unit. Okay, it reduces manufacturing cycle time. The next one is it reduces the manufacturing cycle time. It reduces the cycle time, that is the production cycle time of a particular manufacturing process. If we can handle the material in a good way, if we can handle the material effectively, then the manufacturing cycle is reduced. Okay. Then coming next one, to provide better control of the flow of materials. As we know, there are different types of layout, that is product layout, process layout, and this all. If we can handle the materials in a continuous way, so that what happen, it will reduces, it will provide a better flow of materials. Consider in case of product layout, the machineries are arranged in a sequence of order. If the flow of materials is stopped at one stage, then the entire production will get stops. Is it not? If the material is stopped at one stage, the entire production will get stops. So what we have to do? We have to go for handling the material in an effective way, so that there is a continuous flow of materials. Okay. To provide better working conditions, that is, material handling is needed. Its main objective is to provide better working conditions. If you are handling with heavy materials, if you are handling with hazardous materials, if you are handling with glass materials, or if you are handling with costly materials, so that you have to follow material handling procedures. For example, if you are handling with a chemical, or you are handling with a gas item, or you are handling with a glass item, so you have to follow the procedure how to handle the material. If you don't follow the procedure, then it is harm to the employees, it is harm to the organizations. For example, if you open the any cylinder or any chemical without following the procedure, then the chemical will blast. The entire chemical will flow into the organization. It may be used to fire or whatever it may be. Is it not? So we have to follow the procedure to have a better working conditions. Okay. To provide contribution for better quality by avoiding damages to the products. If you follow the material handling procedures, then we can reduce the damages to the products. See, for example, there is a machine, or there is a material which is of very high cost material. In case of high cost material, if you don't handle it according to procedure, it will get damaged. Or there is a sensitive material. If you don't follow the procedure, the material will get damaged. Then it will lose to the organization. Okay. And to increase the storage capacity, that is, the material handling is used to increase the storage capacity in the organization. Okay. To provide the higher productivity at the low manufacturing cost. This will provide us to provide high productivity at low manufacturing cost. That is, whenever you follow the material handling procedures, so that you can reduce the cost of material handling and the productivity cost is reduced. Okay. Then material handling principles, that is, what are the principles that has to be followed while handling the materials. Materials, coming to one by one, materials should be moved as little as possible. That is, even though if you are moving the materials in bulk, you are not supposed to take heavy load. What you have to take, you have to consider what is the capacity of the material handling machine, how much we have to handle with this machine, then according to that we have to handle the material. Is it not? See, you are not supposed to carry 1,000 bags or 10,000 bags in a single truck. What happened if you carry 10,000 bags of cement in a single truck? It will not move, or it will get damaged. So we have to follow, material should be as little as the material should be moved as little as possible. We have to follow little, that is sufficient. Okay. Reduction in time by using shortest routes and mechanical material handling equipment. That is, while handling the materials, try to reduce the time period. If you want to move from one place to other place, see, consider the material is here. You have to move the material from here to here. Okay, so what happened? You can move from here to here and you can give the material here. And you are not supposed to go like this, and then you have to go. Is it not? See, for example, if you want to go to Rajapeta to Kadapa, what you will do? Rajapeta, Nandalur, Ontimita, and then you go for Bakrapet and then Kadapa. Is it not? This is the shortest route. You are not supposed to move from Rajapeta to Tirupati, Tirupati to Raichoti to Kadapa. What happened? It is a lengthy procedure. So, while moving from materials one place to one place, try to reduce the time period and use mechanical material handling equipments like cranes, elevators, right? And then we have some other materials, okay, equipments. We have some other equipments which we'll discuss at the end of this presentation. So what we have to do, we have to reduce the time by reducing the distance, and also we have to use some machineries, mechanical machines to handling the materials. Okay, material movement should be in lots rather than in individuals. See, if the materials are easy to handle, try to go for in lots. First lot, second lot number 53, in this way. Don't go for individual lots. If you want to sell a soap, you are not supposed to send one soap in a truck. Is it not? You are not supposed to send one soap in a truck. What you will do? You will go for a lot of soaps in a truck. If you are supposed to sell one computer, you are not supposed to send one computer through a particular a truck or a particular car. What do you say? What do you do? You will go for a lots. Okay. Design of material handling equipment should be such that it can increase the efficiency. That is, you have to design the materials for easy handling. For easy handling, you have to provide some special special activities or special features to handle the materials. Okay. Then gravity should be used. That is, as we know, we have earth gravity force. Okay. You have to utilize that gravity force while handling the materials. And then rehandling and backtracking of material should be avoided. That is, once the material is sent from one place to other place, right, don't get it back again, because it will an additional cost. You send the material from this point to this point, and you are not supposed to get from this point to this point. What happened? The transportation and the cost is wasted. So try to rehandle of the try to reduce rehandling and the backtracking, getting back of it from this place to this place. You have to send it, and again don't get from this point to this point. That is, it is double. That the work is double. Okay. Periodical repairing, maintenance, and checking of existing material handling equipment. That is, you have to periodically verify your existing materials maintenance checkup. That is, for example, you have a machine of excavator or a crane. You have to go for previously repairing and checkup. Okay. Then coming to factors affecting the selection of handling equipment. That is, production problem, human involvement, capability of the handling equipment available. That is, what are the three factors that will affect the material handling is production problem. Second one is human element involvement. Third one is capability of handling equipment available. Okay. See here, the first one is production problem. That is, how much of materials is required, how much we have to transfer, and what type of people you are using for this material handling, and then what is the capability of machineries. That is, if you have a crane machine, how many number of products that machine can handle. That is, capability of the machine has to be understand. Okay. Production problem. First one is production problem. Volume of production to be maintained. That is, how much is the production, how many number of products, materials we require, we have to understand. Layout of the plant and building facilities. That is, what is the plant layout. In the previous session we want to discuss about plant layout. What is the plant layout of of the particular factory, and what are the facilities available in the building, we have to understand. Class of materials to be handled. There are different types of classes of materials, like glass materials, chemical materials, hazardous materials, solid materials, right, in this way. Okay, we have to understand the different classes of materials. Okay, and then equipment factors, that is, what are the equipment that are available? Adaptability, speed, space requirement, supervision required, environment, cost, ease of maintenance, power, load capacity, and flexibility. We have to understand what are the equipment factors. Okay. Okay, here you can see the various equipment factors, that is how it is flexible, what type of load capacity it can handle, what is its power, what is its maintenance cost, what is the cost of its equipment, what is the environment, right? How much of supervision it is required, or how much of space it is required when handling the material. This also has to be considered. Then coming to human factors, that is capability of human manpower, that is, what is the capability of that manpower? Is that man or the employee capable of handling such type of load? A normal person can handle 1 bag of cement. He is not supposed to carry 10 bags of cement, is it not? If it is a situation of carrying of 10 bags of cement, better use some other equipment. Okay. Then coming to safety of the personnel, when handling the materials, when handling the raw materials or any materials, what is the safety of the human being? What is the safety of the employee? How much he is safer while handling the material? We have to give instructions to the persons who is handling the material. See, if you observe, if it is a glass item, it is clearly mentioned like handle with glass care. If it is a chemical, then it is given with a diagram like chemical. It is hazardous. If it is electrical, then there is a shape of a skull because it is dangerous. Is it not? So the human factors, like what is the capability, what is the capacity of the manpower to handle the machine, and what is the safety measures. Okay. Then coming to what are the various types of material handling systems. Coming to here, equipment oriented, like convey or systems, tractor transform system, this is our tractors, fork lift trucks, industrial truck system, underground system, material oriented system, that is unit handling system, bulk handling system, liquid handling system. Let us see what are these things. Okay. First one, conveyors, material handling, conveyors, cranes, elevators, hoist, industrial trucks, auxiliary equipments. See here, conveyors, that is based on the gravity, these are used to move from one place to other place. Okay. Let us see what are the conveyors. This is belt conveyor, that is the material is kept here. As the belt is moving, the material also move. We can see this type of things in like while checking, or in case of Tirumala or some other place while checking, the belts are used, and these are also used in big industries in order to handle the bottles like Thumbs Up, Pepsi, while filling. They use this type of belt conveyors. This is chain conveyors, that is this chain will move. As the chain will move, if materials are kept in the chain, the material will also move along with the chains. Okay. Then roller, that is this, there is a rod and there is a roller on it. Then if you keep material over here, then it will move and the material moves from one place to the other place. And pneumatic conveyor, that is pneumatic conveyor is nothing but here in case of some machines, if the material is kept here, the material will flow through the pipes. That is called as pneumatic conveyors. And cranes, elevators and hoists. As you know, cranes, these cranes are used for lifting, moving of heavy materials, high materials, okay, heavy weight material. Elevators, like cranes, that are used from between floors or buildings, that is from this place to this place, right? And from dragging from ground floor to the top floor, these elevators are used. And hoist, that is there is spring is handled over here, the materials are hooked or hanged over here, and it is used for material handling. Industrial trucks, these are all the trucks which is used in the organizations. The materials are kept here. If you on the machine, then the material, that is curtain boxes, are kept over here like this. They'll kept in from a case. They'll arrange in order, and then the truck will lift the material, and then it moves. And the pallet truck. Here is also one type of material handling system. Here we can keep the material and move from one place to the other place. And auxiliary equipments, that is skid boxes, that is we can keep the material here and then we can move, that is some skid from one place to other place. Expandable pallets, that is these are pallets which is used for expanding. Okay, then there are some other things like cranes, movers, right, elevators and all. Okay, right, unit handling system, that is for single unit. Bulk handling system for bulk number of people, bulk number of products. Liquids, that is how the liquids are handled. See, based on the material we will use the equipment. All the equipments are used for all the equipments. All the equipments cannot be. The same equipment cannot be used for all type of materials. Is it not? There is a specialized material equipments for each type of equipment. Okay. Then coming to purchases. Then coming to the other topic. Next topic is purchases. Okay. What is purchase? Purchase means buying of equipments, materials, tools, parts which is required by the business. That is raw material purchases, tools purchases, equipment purchases, spare part purchases, or any types of purchases can be done in the organization for the business. There is special department in the organization that is called as purchase department. What is the role? What is the function of purchase department is? It plays an important role in the organization because the purchase department will reduce the cost. It will reduce the cost of materials. It will buy the material where it is available in a cheaper form. Okay. Role of purchase department is, first one is avail the materials and minimize the possible cost. The same material which you want to purchase is available at different costs. The purchase department will try to reduce the cost and purchases at a less price. Ensure the continuous flow of production. The purchase department has to take care how many materials are available, how many materials are supposed to be available, that is it has to forecast how many number of materials are required in future, and they has to purchase in time in order to have a continuous flow of production. Increase asset turnover, that is how much of material has to be purchased, how much of material has to be used in the production, that is how the asset is maintained to get more turnover has to be taken care. Okay, and develop an alternative source of supply. If a particular raw material is not available, then the purchase department has to develop an alternative sources which is available for the production. Okay, and also establish and maintain good relations with suppliers. The purchase department has to maintain good relations with suppliers, that is while paying money, while getting the raw materials, while going for purchase returns, it has to maintain good relations. Okay, and efficient record keeping and managing reporting, that is management reporting, that is purchase department has to maintain good record keeping because it is used for auditing, it is used for management activities. The management has to know what is the how many number of purchases, how many number of purchase returns, right, what is its sales, what is the amount incurred in a particular item. This all has to be maintained a good record, and train and develop the personnel while handling the material, that is how to handle the materials has to be trained. Okay, then coming to parameters of purchasing, that is while going for purchasing a particular material, what type of parameters has to be considered? We have to understand. While going for purchasing of material, we have to consider 10 R's. 10 R's. That is right attitude. Right attitude. That is we have to understand. We have to go for SWOT analysis of a particular material, and then we have to purchase the material. And the next one is right place of delivery. Price communication. That is what is the right place of delivery. I said that you have to deliver at Rajampet. At where, but which place of Rajampet you have to deliver? that is right place of delivery, that is price communication. And then right source, vendor rating purchases, that is we have to find out the right source of the material. And then right contracts, while going for credit purchases or importing products or raw materials or some other material from other countries, we have to maintain good contracts, that is we have to write our legal documents. And then right transportation, that is as we know, as we just now discussed about transportation, while handling the material we have to reduce the cost of transportation. Right time, that is at what time we require the raw material, the raw material or material has to be get in time, that is the right time we have to get the material. The material should not be, the purchase department has to take care that the material should not get delayed. Right price, that is the product is available at different prices, we have to buy at a reasonable price. And right quantity, right economic order quantity, EOQ refers to economic order quantity and economic inventory model. The next session we will discuss about all these things. But right quantity is nothing but how much of quantity we require, how much of quantity we have to buy. For example, we require 10 bags of cement per month, that is our consider 1000 bags of cement per month. How many we have to purchase? We have to purchase 1010. Is it not? The 10 is the safety. Okay, you are not supposed to purchase 900 bags of cement, because if you are not purchase right quantity, the production may get stops. And then right quality, that is if there is find any defective, we have to reject, we have to maintain some specifications while buying the material. We have to see, for example, if you want to buy a mobile phone, you will tell some specification, that is I want 64 megapixel camera for 6 GB RAM and all. In the same way for material also you have to maintain the quality. You can reject if the quality is less. And the right material, that is value also standardization, that is you have to we have to take only the right material, not the cheaper quality. You have to consider the price and as well as the quality. In some cases the price is less, the quality is less, but you are not supposed with the quality. You have to consider the reasonable price for a good product. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, then you can contact me in my mobile or through the email. Thank you.